Hello everyone. Welcome to Trauma Sensitive Coaching. I've come on to share a few things with you today. So, back when I started my coaching career, which will be about 10 years ago now, I was thrust into the world of NLP, right? So, I was thrust into the world of life coaching quite early on. And this was not just your normal life coaching. This was transformative life coaching, but it still had this essence of masculinity, of pushing, of that kind of coaching. And I remember studying and thinking, wow, what we're being taught to do is quite abrupt. It's quite masculine in the way that we are being taught to coach people. And the other thing that I notice, and with masculinity as well, and if you think about masculinity, it's one person is going out and doing the hunt. Whereas feminine energy, we have a community, we work together, we love to talk, we love to share. And so that was really an element that was missing for me back when I started coaching. Firstly, there was no somatic elements, there was no trauma informed elements. It was literally, why do you do that? Let's change that. Let's reframe it. There was no, what happened to you? Or, yes, let's heal, but instead of healing, let's just talk about how you can look at it differently and push your emotions down further. So that was my experience when I first started coaching. That was the way that was normal at the time that we were taught. NLP definitely came from the 70s and the 80s. I believe it was Richard Bandler and can't remember the other guy, but yeah, that was a part of my, and when I got certified, it was like off you go into the world. There was no ongoing follow-ups, community, supervision. There was nothing like that. And you know how our purpose comes from sometimes what we've been through or what we feel like that we've lacked. So over the next year, I did hire a few coaches, including a business coach. And again, it was that masculine energy of just make the phone calls, call these 50 people. Now, my nervous system, to do it in that masculine, full on way, I wanted to throw up. I remember literally feeling sick with this coach telling me that I had to do something that I hated, which was cold calls, which was reach out. I absolutely hated it. And I remember one day thinking, what would be a way that I would feel comfortable, that would feel really nourishing for me, that would feel comfortable for me to reach out to people? And I remember just recording a 3 series, these very short videos, and putting them out on my little email list that I had. So we're talking back in 2014 or 15 when I did this. And I got some beautiful women reaching out to me, and I had some amazing conversations. But again, when I was coaching people, I was feeling like this isn't aligning with my nature of being nurturing. This isn't aligning with my nature of being compassionate. And I'd love to know how you guys feel about that in terms of when you've received a coaching session from someone that is very direct and very straightforward. And some people might like that. Some people might like that, but some people, they might consciously think that they like that, right? But I think that most people, what you have to realize is that with coaching or with helping people to achieve their goals or changing their behavior, it's actually the body that takes action. It's not the mind that takes action. So we can all have the most incredible ideas, the most incredible advice. We already know what we need to do often, but it's a matter of, is our body going to come on board with that? Because if not, we are going to procrastinate, or like me, you're going to want to feel like you're going to throw up because it was pushing too much on your edges. Like my window of capacity wasn't there yet. So it's like you've got to really think about, what is it that my body needs in order to feel safer to take the actions that I need to take to reach the goal that I'm trying to reach through hiring a coach. And then as a facilitator, as a coach, the question is, what's happened to this client or how is their body responding to this suggestion, or even a suggestion from their own future self, their own higher self, which is something that we do in trauma informed manifestation coaching. Yeah, my nervous system, it was not ready for that. It was not ready at all. If we're not with coaching, and I was just saying earlier, somatically and physically, it's our body that takes the action or inaction. It's our body that decides whether this is safe or not. And this is the birthplace of procrastination. This is the birthplace of going into freeze or shut down, giving up on our business. And sometimes we feel like we want to burn our business down to the ground and give up all the momentum, when really an indication of when you want to burn down your business is actually you're burnt out, right? You don't want to burn your business down because you're burnt out. You want to bring your business down with you. This is imperative information to know. If you are coaching someone and you're just telling them what to do, or they're telling you what they want to do, and then you're like, okay, go ahead and do that. Consciously in their brain, in their prefrontal cortex, often it'll be like, yes, I want that. I want to do that. Or I've had that message from my higher self. But if their body for some reason has some links that it links either having more clients to it being unsafe. Why? Consciously, of course, we want more clients. Consciously, we know that this is our purpose and we want to help people. So why would we sabotage that? These unconscious links can be, it's not safe to have more money in my bank account, or someone might have told us when we were younger that people in business are scammers, or we might associate having a business with paying too much tax. So as much as we consciously like, of course I want more clients, the actions that we take are not in alignment with actually getting those clients. And we might get some intuitive hits drop in, and the intuitive hits might be like, yes, all you need to do is go and do a post today, or all you need to do is send a newsletter, all you need to do is reach out to this person to collaborate. And then what happens when you go to do it if your body doesn't feel safe? The last minute, nah, actually it's not resonating. And that's the thing with resonating. We think that we're not resonating with what we're meant to do, but our nervous system is just not in resonance with taking the action that we need to take to go towards the goal. This just happened with me with coaching. Making a plan is not aligned and take me out of flow and keep me stuck. Yes. And I've had times too where I've been burnt out. The pressure of having a coach that wasn't trauma sensitive, that wasn't compassionate, I would just get sick and burn out every time. Either like literally physically sick. Because there was no like, okay, what's coming up for you? There was no like somatic work. There was no like, let's do some resourcing. Let's get your nervous system on board. Let's actually find out if the goals that you are trying to receive are actually your higher self's goals. Because the other thing that we can do is just say we grew up with poverty, or just say we grew up not feeling validated, or just say we put people on a pedestal that are successful in business. A part of us is pushing to have a certain business in a certain kind of way instead of our way, because we actually trying to fill in a deficit. We are actually trying to fill a deficit in a sense of, I'll finally be validated. I finally will be a successful business owner. Then I'll be happy. I'll finally, I can see my doggy there in the background. If I have enough money, then I finally won't be in survival mode. But guess what? When we do that, we're creating out of survival mode. We're not creating out of our soul, our higher self. We're not creating from our future self that's already made it. We're creating out of fear. We're creating out of deficit. And what does that create more of? It creates more fear and deficit, right? It means that we're very hypersensitive to feedback, right? Because we're trying to seek that validation. As soon as there's a lower amount of money in our account, our whole nervous system goes into survival mode. I remember when I was like starting out as a coach and I really needed a client to sign up to pay my rent. Okay. And I was stressing so much that when actually someone said yes and a payment came through, I collapsed on the ground. Because at that time, I was even struggling to eat because I didn't know how to get clients and I didn't know how to align myself and do business in my own way that was aligned with my soul, which was the easiest, nicest, most feminine, most nervous system nourishing way. I literally remember collapsing on the ground. Right? That's how much survival mode that I was in. And so what happens is, especially with social media, we're looking at that person, we're looking at this person, we're perceiving that we're in survival mode. And when things started to change for me is when I found community, which is something that we offer at the Center for Healing. When I found collaboration, when you get out of survival mode, when your nervous system is regulated, when you're in a regulated state and slightly activated, but you're more likely to be social, you're more likely to be open to collaborating with other people. When we're in survival mode, we stay small, right? We stay small, we find it hard to connect with others, we don't feel sociable, we just want to focus on our work, we're just hustling, right? But as your nervous system starts to regulate, and as we are as animals, as humans, we connect with each other and we stop being in competition and we start to collaborate. And when I started to collaborate, my whole life changed. When I started to support other practitioners, they were supporting me, connect with them. When I found community, then my nervous system could start to unwind and be like, I'm not alone. I don't have to just survive anymore. And so that's something that we offer here at the Center for Healing. And something, like I said, that we offer at the Center for Healing is monthly group coaching. And that is a bonus for life. You can see me every month if you want to jump on, if you don't want to. If you need some connection, you need some support. I never got that. I never got that at the start. Everything that I didn't get, I give to you guys in this modality. Being trauma informed, being sensitive, understanding emotions and not pushing them away, raising our vibration in a sustainable way, not in a temporary way where we're just pushing our shadows to the side, actually getting our own goals from our soul, our goals and our missions and our purpose, and that clarity of being in your highest and greatest good. And so, yeah, when I first started collaborating, I lived with 2 other healers for a year. And we taught each other, we connected. And then, as you guys might know, then I ended up connecting with Ryan and collaborated with him. And then we started hiring people. And I knew my mission from the start is to help people doing what they love full time. I feel so grateful that I started coaching because if I need to run to the school and get my son something, I can. I don't miss out. I get to pick him up from school. And those mums of you that are watching, you understand how important that is. It isn't just about the money. It isn't just about the fulfillment of having amazing clients, right? It's about if I feel like I need a nap today, like I might have a nap this afternoon. That is wealth. If I want to go for a walk during the day, if I can listen to my body. I remember when I worked 9 to 5, I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was chained to a desk. It did not suit me. And I didn't like having a limitation on my income. The other thing that we do at the Center for Healing is, and for those of you that are already practitioners, you might know this, you might not. We share our public Facebook group. Now, I don't know how many people are actually in there. I don't know, there's 45,000 or something like that. I could be wrong. I could be blowing it way out of proportion. But we allow you guys to post once a month in there. Just say what modality you've studied with us, root cause therapy, embodied processing, trauma-informed meditation, or trauma-informed manifestation coaching. We interview you guys for podcasts. And I actually had someone reach out the other day and they're like, oh, thank you so much for the podcast. I've had a few people sign up for a program. So cool. So we collaborate with you. Your success is our success. And I feel like a lot of this work, when we go into healing, there's a lot of internalization. There's a lot of working on ourselves inside, working on our shadows, healing our traumas, releasing our limiting beliefs. And we're all for that, obviously. We're the Center for Healing. But there's a moment in time where you go, at some point I have to change my external world as well. And yes, some elements might change the way that you react to people, the way that you relate with people, because you start healing that relational trauma, you start to let people in. And then the next level of that is once there's that blank slate, it's now that I've healed so much, I'm feeling safer to get out in the world. I'm feeling safer than just to think of just about me and my little survival. How do I want to impact the world? How do I want to impact the world in a really beautiful, sensitive, trauma informed way? Understanding that everyone's had their own battles. How do I help people get out of their own way to consciously create their future, connect with their mission, connect with their goal? So, some things that we do in trauma informed manifestation coaching is connecting and finding your purpose and your mission and just getting the feeling of that, the sense of that in your body. Now what's going to happen is somatic stuff's going to come up in your body. Blocks are going to come up. The reasons why you can't have that level of money or success or that many clients or that house that you've always wanted to buy or the beautiful relationship or your health, then the coach will gently work through that with you and release that somatically in your body. Right? You're going to get all the information, understanding how the nervous system is like an aerial up into the universe. Understanding that when we try to call in a manifestation, all the shadows that are going to come out that don't align with that. When we raise our vibration, or everything that's not in alignment will be showing up in our reality. Yeah. And understanding lag times, understanding the different dimensions. And then getting that clarity from our higher self, scripting, vision boarding, all that stuff, manifestation, all bundled in with the somatic work and trauma informed work. And shifting your vibration to get into alignment will change everything, but you can't just do it by positive thinking and visualization. Because again, for those of you that were on earlier, your body is literally, your nervous system is literally the tuning fork to what you want to attract. So again, if you're saying all the affirmations and you've got it on your vision board, but your body is, this is not safe. This is not safe to have more clients. This is not safe to call more money in. There's some links in there as to why it's not safe. And so getting your body into a place of safety to allow it in. And then there's the next step. Once we allow what we want in, the next step is actually, now that we've got what we wanted, can we hold on to it? Or are we going to sabotage it? I know when I got into The Secret, when I was 21, and I did buy a house with a friend and all of that, and I was into positive thinking. Anything where I didn't feel good, I would reject it. Oh, you just signed up for Trauma Informed Manifestation Level 2. Woohoo! Level 2 is amazing. I hope you enjoy it. How exciting. Love it. So the thing with me was that because I was trying to think positively all the time, I wasn't willing to have hard conversations with people. I wasn't willing to look at my shadows. I wasn't willing to look at my behaviors and how they were sabotaging my relationships. I wasn't looking at how I was managing my money because I was trying to be positive all the time. Money always comes in. It's all good. Just let it flow. And then I'm like, oh crap, I can't pay my mortgage. And everything started to fall down all around me. Because that's what I was doing. I was just doing The Secret. I was just being positive all the time. I was ignoring all the other stuff, but it showed up in my reality. So I threw The Secret in the bin. I was like, this is crap. This is not helpful. This ruined my life. It made it look great for a little bit and then it ruined it, right? Then I went down the limiting belief, trauma coaching, healing therapy route for the next, 7 years. And I was like, this is it. I'll just keep healing. Every time I heal limiting belief, my outer reality is going to change. Guess what? It didn't, because it changed a lot about how I felt about myself. It changed a lot about how I interacted with people. It changed a lot, and that was so helpful. But because I totally rejected manifestation, it was like I wasn't consciously creating. I wasn't being very decisive about what I wanted. When you just say you want more money, the universe is like, here's $2 more. And without your clarity, you're not going to call in exactly what you want. And how do you know if it's aligned with your soul? So I was healing, constant healing hangover. I always had I was hitting a certain amount all the time in our bank account, never enough, always in survival mode. And it wasn't until Ryan said, can we just stop the healing work for a little bit? And I said, okay. And we did. And then I started hearing about manifestation again, and I started looking at it again. I was like, I wonder if I'm dismissing something here that's important, because I can't just heal and expect the universe to be like, you've healed, here's everything you ever wanted. I had to own what I want. I had to get clear on what I wanted. I had to really connect with my purpose and my mission and be sure that it was all in alignment. And when I started getting clarity, when I started making decisive decisions about how much we wanted to call in, about how that would feel. And the key term here is feel. It's about how we feel. If I was to say, I want to manifest $10,000 a month, and my body felt shaky and scared because maybe it thought I would have to work really hard. Maybe it thinks, oh my God, you'll burn out. You've never made that much money. It's not going to happen. So I need to go, how much do I want to make, and when, and then where is my body not on board? And if I do the somatic processing and allow it to feel safe to call it in, and I feel good about the amount that I'm writing, it's not crazy for my nervous system, then it happens. And so we went from 30K months, right? For years, we were making 30K months. And that was not much profit because we had staff, we had overheads. Even when we changed our business to online, even when we didn't have the extra expenses, it was still that. And I could not work out for the life of me, why? Why are we still hitting this ceiling? It wasn't until I did some somatic work and found out that my nervous system thought that if we made extra profit, then my partner would relapse. I would never even thought it consciously. It was literally a survival mechanism in my body trying to protect me. So I was unconsciously sabotaging. I was holding us back unconsciously. As soon as I shifted that, and I'd say it'd been a 30-minute session, as soon as I shifted that, within 2 weeks, we got to $50,000 months. And since then, we do much more than that. And I notice where I'm feeling a tightness in my body about what we want to call in. When I wanted to buy another house, if any of you were watching earlier, I was talking about when I got The Secret and I manifested a house when I was 21, and I absolutely sabotaged it all because I was just doing positive thinking. I wasn't connected to my body at all. Little did I know, if someone was trauma informed that was working with me, they would realize that I moved around a lot when I was little due to domestic violence. My parents divorced when I was 2.5. So to me, houses were not safe. And so what happened when I wanted to settle my son down near his school and buy a house finally? My nervous system was like, alert, alert, no, this is not safe. How is buying a house a bad thing? It's not. My nervous system was not having it. It was not in alignment with it. It was like, this is a no-go. You'll end up getting divorced. You'll end up being stressed. There'll end up being violence. I wasn't consciously thinking this. I was just like, oh, I want a house with some land and near my son's school so we don't have to travel, and I want to lay down some roots and the dog can run around. And that's what I was consciously thinking. My body was like, red alert, house is no, house is no. It caused so much stress in the past, you know. So what did I have to do to buy a house? Somatically work through my nervous system actually feeling safe to call in what I wanted. And so that was an ongoing process. And then when you get the house, does your nervous system feel safe to keep it, or is it going to sabotage it? Because your emotions and your body is what takes the action or inaction. Am I going to sabotage because my body doesn't feel safe in this house? It's trying to keep me safe for a reason why I don't know why, which you wouldn't find out if you weren't doing some trauma-informed somatic coaching. right? It's this real three-step process. It's let's get clarity. What does your higher self want? Not what your deficiencies or your wounds want, right? Let's get really clear on what that is. Let's somatically shift and look at what's happened to you that's disallowing you from already having this in your life, whatever you're trying to call in. And then let's take aligned actions. And the fun thing about aligned actions, guys, is when you work in the Akashic records, which is a bonus part of the training. So you all get, and you don't have to do it to get certified because some people don't align with working the Akashic records. When you work in the Akashic records, it calculates everything. It goes, this is the most feminine, easy way to get to your goal. You will save hours, days, months, years of misaligned work. You don't get paid per hour in this work because you're doing a lot of work on the outside when you're a coach. In doing something misaligned, of course you want to give up and quit. But when you check in the records, it goes based on you, based on everything that's happened to you. Yes, there's a few little blocks that we can heal. Make these little tweaks in your business. Just do these things that feel comfortable to you. So I had a client and he was like, I hate the algorithm and posting on social media and this and that. I'm like, what has got you clients? What has gotten you clients in the past? And he said, the in-person events actually always get me clients. And I said, interesting. Why don't you just do that? If that is what's working, why you try to overcomplicate it and do what everyone else is doing? Right? And then when we checked in the records, like that was confirmed. Yes, that's all you need to do is just continue doing that over and over. That's the masculine part, the repeating tasks, the boring tasks. So you can be in your feminine and you won't be burnt out and you'll love what you're doing. Because some of you hate social media, but you would love to do in-person retreats. And instead of advertising on social media, you advertise through retreat centers, for example. There's going to be a way that's aligned for you and your soul, your particular energy, right? Back in 2013, when I told Ryan and Matt, I'm like, my intuition is saying we need to make a trauma-informed coaching certification. And they're like, yeah, okay. And I pushed them and they made it. And it was like a very short, like a short course. And anyway, they made it. And yeah, we had a few sales. Anyway, I went into the Akashic Records, which is what I teach you guys in this certification. And these are the few tweaks that you need to make. So it's actually a whole analysis. It's 5 or 6 pages of every area of your business, your branding, your colors, everything like that. That's in level 2 if you guys sign up. In level 1, it's more just what do you need to shift personally, which both are really amazing. But it just said you need to make that free. And I'm like, that's a bit rude. Like, I didn't make the course. And what if we make it free, how's that going to help? And it's basically like the impact will be massive. Okay. So I approached Ryan and Matt and I'm like, look, I know you guys put effort into this course and I know it was a lot of work, but the Akashic Records are saying make it free. Now, Ryan knows that I'm a bit of a visionary and I just trust my intuition, and it looks like we do crazy things and it's so in alignment, it's not funny, and we always go, oh my God, thank God. But he's like, all right, fine. After some negotiating with them, it absolutely blew our business up. It's over 100,000 people have taken it, and it's created such a positive wave in the earth. If we leave the earth now, I'm happy because that has changed so many government organizations, universities, teachers, parents, and coaches, mental health workers alike. Okay. And I think about 100 people sign up a day. Like, it's still going. Okay. And that was a few years ago now. So these little tweaks that we shift and change make it so we don't have to hustle. It makes it so we can be in our creative zone, makes it so we're regulated, makes it so we can do this for a long time. So being trauma sensitive is really going, okay, there's things that your higher self is saying to do here. Is anything coming up for you? Let's work through that. Okay, how are you going? Let me know. It's like being that, almost like the counselor. Dump on me anything that's coming up, because every time you make a goal, our nervous systems get so shook up that you just need to go blah, 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 blah to your coach, and creating space for that and not being reframed, shut down, shut up, just go do it. We don't do that here. Again, that's why I'm like saying trauma sensitive, nervous system aware. Love it. So, yeah, this is basically what I wanted to share. And I think this is a new way. This is somatic coaching is the way to go. Being trauma sensitive is the only way forward. A reminder that trauma informed manifestation coaching, you get lifetime access to group coaching with me, monthly group coaching. You get bonus how to read the Akashic records to you and clients. I often sell these readings alone for $1,000 each, and it changes people's businesses. And you can read your own business and you can read for other people either as a standalone, or you can add it on to the specific. There's a 4-session coaching template that I give you guys. I give you guys emails for before, for after, the tools that you use when. Everything is so done for you. So I look forward to more of you joining our community. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please just reach out to us. We've got support at thecenterforhealing.com.au. You can message this page and we'll help. Please let me know if you have any questions at all, any questions about coaching. Anna, so there's 2 levels to this course in a separate course. In the Akashic, there's 2 different Akashic readings, Anna. So in level 1, there is an Akashic reading. It's an overall one of aspects that you need to change within yourself or in your life to be in alignment with your goal. In level 2, that's where if you want to, you can upgrade at checkout, or you can upgrade later. You can get level 2 later when you're ready if you want to. That's for if you want to do a very thorough business analysis Akashic records reading. So that's the level 2 version. No worries, Ramali. So good to see you. So you don't have to get level 2. So what I suggest is, if you're thinking about it, just get level 1 for now. You're welcome to get level 2 if you want, but just get level 1 because that is a full certification. And you do get that introduction to reading the Akashic records because you do get that initial activation. I teach you how to use the pendulum. I teach you how to speak to your records guides and everything like that. And I teach you how to do it for yourself or for clients. And there's a few demos in there as well. And then once you get that down pat, that simpler reading, then you can do level 2 and do the more complex reading. Yeah. And that's just a bonus with the course. That's an amazing bonus. Love it. All right. I'll stay on for another minute just in case there's more questions. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much. I'll wrap it up now. Again, any questions? If you're watching this replay, feel free to comment below, or if you get the replay on email, which we'll send out shortly as well, if you're on our email list, you can watch it there and ask any questions in there. All right, everyone have an amazing day. Thank you. Bye.